Hey, good morning, y'all. So this morning we are in Genesis 5 as we follow along in the Bible together. So Genesis 5, the descendants of Adam. Now, I ask for grace and mercy as we get into all of these names because it's not my strong suit. But bear with me. This can also be found in 1 Chronicles 1 through 3. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, he made him in his own likeness, male and female, he created him. And he blessed them, and in the day they were created, he called them man. Notice it's them, more than one. When Adam was 130 years old, he had a son in his own likeness. In his own likeness, after his own image, and he named him Seth. And after he had become the father of Seth, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So Adam lived a total of 930 years, and then he died. When Seth was 105 years old, he became a father to Enosh. And after he had become the father of Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and had other sons and daughters. So Seth lived a total of 912 years, and then he died. When Kenan was 70 years old, he became the father of Mahalalel. And after he became the father of Mahalalel, Kenan lived 840 years and had other sons and daughters. So Kenan lived a total of 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel was 65 years old, he became the father of Jared. After he became the father of Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had other sons and daughters. So Mahalalel lived a total of 895 years, and then he died. God takes up Enoch. Hebrews 11:5 is also where this can be found. When Jared was 162 years old, he became the father of Enoch. And after he had become the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. So Jared lived a total of 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch was 65 years old, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he had become the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. So Enoch lived a total of 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and then he was no more because God had taken him away, because he had a true relationship with the Father. He loved him so much, and he walked and talked with him. And as the book of Enoch and several other books, they can be found in the Catholic Bible, but they were taken out of ours. And the book of Enoch, it didn't coincide with scripture, so that's why they removed that. But it is mentioned throughout this Bible as in the book of Enoch. So whenever we see that as in the book of Enoch, God is telling us and directing us to read that book. So there's information in that. There's also information in the book of Jasher that Methuselah was laid to rest before the great and terrible day of the flood because he was a man of God. So he removed him from the situation. From Methuselah to Noah. When Methuselah was 187 years old, he became the father of Lamech. And after he had become the father of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. So Methuselah lived a total of 969 years, and then he died. And you can find that information in the book of Jasher, chapter 4, verse 21, I do believe, around that area. I know it's in chapter 4. When Lamech was 182 years old, he had a son, and he named him Noah, saying, "May this one comfort us in the labor and toil of our hands caused by the ground that the Lord has cursed." And after he had become the father of Noah, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. So Lamech lived a total of 777 years, and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now this is the end of this chapter, but I wanted to read real quick 1 Chronicles 1 1 through 3, which says Adam, Seth, Enosh, Canaan, Mahela, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech. And so these are all of from Adam to Abraham. These are the sons. And then it goes into the sons of Noah from there. And then in Hebrew 11:5, we're looking at 11, just chapter 11, verse 5. It says, by faith Enoch was taken up so that he did not see death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. Could you imagine being someone that truly pleased God? And we recognize too in Genesis, going over here to Genesis 3, corruption on the earth, it states, so the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with man forever, for he is mortal, and his days shall be 120 years. And that's in Genesis 6:3. But we also find in Psalms 90 that it states that 70 to 80 years is a generation. And anybody that gets more than that it's a gift from God. And that's only for the strong. So we recognize that times have changed as they were living over 900 years previous. But after the flood, things changed. And that's because of all the corruption on the earth and all of the hard things that were going on. As we dive in, I'll try to explain more and ad-lib more as best I can. I suggest getting in the Word and looking. There was a man that came to my church one time, and it was an amazing sermon that he did. I had been questioning the Lord about Jews and Gentiles, and he did a history, if you can do a deep dive into a history of all of the generations. And what he showed was actually getting further down, every Hebrew man or Jewish man married a Gentile. And it was pretty amazing. So the intermingling of the Jews and Gentiles has been from way back. It started way back. And most people don't understand that the word Hebrew is not Jewish. There was no Jewish descendants until later. What does Hebrew mean? If you look it up, it means to cross over from death to life. And that's what Abraham did. He crossed from death into life with God. And we are to be born again. Isn't that amazing? That God, he shows himself, but he starts way back. And that's why I want us to start at the beginning of the book. And that's why God, I think, told me to, too, is so that we can get to understand the patterns of history and how they repeat themselves. And we can see those things. And then when things start to come now in the future, you're not in shock. You've saw them before, and you can recognize what's coming next. You don't need a psychic, and you don't need a prophet. You can be a prophet for yourself by reading the Word. He'll speak to you personally. I pray this helps somebody, and I pray that you go forth and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.